Next on the agenda is Rich Stevens from Australia. Rich is the president of the Stuttering Association for the Young Down Under. So take it away, Rich.
Hello everyone. It's so awesome to see all these beautiful kind of faces on this screen. Just before I start, huge thank you to Tom, Cynthia, and for the rest of the team. For someone who's involved with the World Stuttering Network, but works no way as hard as these two do. Huge thank you for kind of putting this on, and for seeing people international all around the world and people who stutter. And I can't think of anything kind of better than our community. We're connecting globally, which is really, really awesome. So huge honor in terms of speaking this space. So yes, my name is Rich Stevens. I'm a person who stutters, and I'm the president of the Stuttering Association for the Young Australia. I'm also a camp director here. For Camp Say Australia, I'm a camp director at Say as well, across the pond in America, and also part of this organization as well. So I do quite a bit, very kind of privileged to be in those spots, very kind of privileged. So today I was thinking, I didn't have a clue what to present, obviously I'm going to present about Say Australia, but look, we are not for profit. We are a charity here in Australia, which, I've tried to put this into a couple of lines now, and we are an organisation that connects young people who stutter whilst doing cool things. We run these free programs in the creative arts, playwriting, songwriting, poetry, a range of things in the creative arts and the performing arts. We do social hangs as well, and we do a summer camp as well. We just actually run the first ever summer camp that is dedicated to young people who stutter in Australia. We just ran a 5-day camp in January, and not a clinical camp, a camp where kids can just be themselves and connect with other people who stutter, where the emphasis isn't on fluency. The emphasis is not on to accept. As Say Australia, we don't tell anyone how to speak. We don't tell anyone that you have to accept or don't accept. What we do is very simple. In a lot of organizations and a lot of spaces that I see around the world, people doing some great things, and the simplicity is providing a space for people who stutter to connect. It is not my role to tell people how to speak. It's not anyone's job to tell people how to speak for people who stutter. It's up to them to take whatever journey they take. And I think what is so great about all these organizations here as well is there's so much choice out there as well. There's never been a better time to be a person who stutters than there is now. There's so much choice out there. So, there's a lot. I'm just going to put in the chat just kind of links to a couple of things. There's a website, there's a blog for the camp, and we just did a video blog, a photography blog, and then we've got a documentary out as well called The Time It Takes on YouTube, all free. That gives an insight into one of the programs we did here, and it's a 20-minute program, as long as this presentation that I'm about to do right now. But what I really wanted to share as well, and I've just thought of this, I've just come from an open day that we've done in Melbourne. I've got a t-shirt on, I can't say and all that, not trying to plug it at all, but the reason why I want to share what happened today is because it gives the most beautiful insight about what we do and what we are about. So for the past month, I've been doing interstate events. It's like a 1-day event. We turn up in Brisbane. We invite all the young people in the area to come and connect and play all these awesome games, all these cool activities where we all know the model of the iceberg, and just working on indirectly everyone knows the model of the iceberg, and working on those experiences which a lot of people have, which a lot of people still have as an adult, and especially the kids, all that shame, isolation, all that guilt, but all that kind of like loneliness is, of having the belief that you're the only person in the world who you think who stutters. So we've been connecting with all these kids on Zoom for a while, but we've been going interstate now to do a one-day event where we have just this fun day where the kids connect. And for the first time, they meet someone else who stutters. And there's a magic in that. There is such a magic in that happens. It's happened for all of us at some point for people who stutter. And we had 14, the kids up in Brisbane. It was amazing. We just done an event up in Sydney and there was 14, 10 girls were there. And we all know the ratio, 4-1, but there were 10 girls there. And to see them changing, exchanging, I don't know, Snapchat, TikTok, I don't know, I'm old, I don't know what is going on with all these things, but to see them engaging and sharing their voice in this space, however way they wanted to do it, was beautiful. And we've just done an event today in Melbourne, and we've had everything against us today. We've had cancellations because of sickness. We've had the rain. It's like a monsoon. There's roadworks everywhere in Melbourne. Today was a reminder for me about the importance of providing a safe space for people who stutter to be themselves. We had 2 people who turned up today. 2 people. There was 2 boys who had never met anyone else. A child who had a stutter. I have a teammate of volunteers. We don't get paid. I've got a team of volunteers. 6 people turned up today for the volunteers. People who are doing PhDs, people who have kids, people who have lives and stuff, and taking that time. The most precious gift that you could give a child is your time, and they came today. So we had 6 staff. We had 2 kids. And obviously we invite the families in as well, and the parents and the siblings. And over the course of 5 hours, we had the most beautiful time together. We played our creative arts games. We sang together. We danced together. We ate together. We had a game, an epic game of Family Feud at the end, which all the parents were involved in and stuff. But these 2 boys who had never met before, they connected in such a beautiful way. And in a couple of days, one of the dads has got a boat, and they're going to take it out, and they're going to go out on the boat and do a bit of fishing. Now, you can throw anything you want into the community, our community for people who stutter. You can throw in, as much out there in terms of therapy, as much out there in terms of research, and it's all important. But I see it on that front line. I see it on the front line so often. I see it. There is a simplicity. And what everyone is doing is all great work. We all do great work, and it's all got a space. And it's important to always realize the simplicity of what happens, the magic that happens when you just provide that space for people who stutter to just come however way they are. And if that's you just want to be fluent, I get it. If it's like you want to accept, I get it. If it's something else, I get all those things. And it's always a reminder for, and for kind of me when the struggles of doing a not-for-profit and the struggles of doing a charity, the struggles of awareness and the struggles when, maybe too many things are fluency focused. Today's a reminder today that when you see these 2 boys about to go out on a boat to fish, that's what it's about. That is what our organization's about and stuff. Our organization is about, showing these kids that, and showing anyone in our space that for a long time, they've probably, to be in a space, they've had to change and they've had to fit to be in a space, to probably be accepted into a space. But in spaces like ours, they belong simply by and kind of being themselves. And that is something that we strive for. That is what Say Australia is all about. That's what Say's about. Providing this safe space where everyone has as much time to say the words that they want to say. Every child is seen and heard and loved for exactly who they are right in that moment, right then. So if you get a minute and you don't know about our organization, and it's not the model to copy or anything like that. I'm not saying that at all. I'm just saying it's what works for some people. And for some people, it doesn't. For some families, it works. For some kids, it works. And for some people, it doesn't. Because every journey is kind of different. I think a beautiful thing, what we do as well, is we don't only focus on the kids. We focus on the parents as well. Because I look back to when I was a child and my parents didn't have anyone who they could go to. They didn't know any other parents who stuttered. And that's something that we like to do as well. We like to connect the parents. We like to give the parents a voice. We like to give the parents who are probably, been striving to help their kid, have probably gone through a range of kind of therapies and felt that guilt that it's their fault. That, it's their fault that their child has not been cured or whatever you want to call it. So to provide that safe space for our parents, for their parents, and as well for our kids, then the aim is whatever happens in our space is transcended into the home, into school, into their everyday life. And we just want to provide these kids with a community, with a family, with the belief that having a stutter is hard, having a stutter is tough, and out there, external, there's still a huge lack of awareness out there. And it's not, it's not to lie to our kids as well. But by providing the community and stuff, I'm sure all of us as people who stutter have felt so much by knowing that there's a community out there and everyone's got our back. Even if you know me or not and stuff, I know everything. I know every person who has a stutter on this call, and allies as well, has my back no matter what. So that's Australia. That is what we do. That is where we are. We've been operating in Australia for 4 years. Wow. 4 years we've been operating in Australia. And as I say in America is huge. Say in Australia, it's still quite fresh. It's still quite fresh, and I think Australia is very much kind of changing its view as in options as well. I think Australia is advancing quite a lot. But awareness in Australia, look, it's getting out there, and we're doing some great work. And as I said, we've just done a summer camp, the first ever camp in Australia for young people who stutter. So we are here. We are here to stay. And we are reaching out more and more so. And that's our aim. Our aim is not for every child to become involved in, say, Australia. Our aim is just to know that, for them to know that we exist, and for them to know that they're not alone. And if they choose to become involved, and then great. And if they don't, and then great. But we're here, and we are helping to change lives, and we want to help change a lot more. So that's me. That's Australia. Probably just talks a lot of jargon there, but huge pleasure to be on this platform. And as I said, things like this just show to all of us that there's never been a better time to be a person who stutters than now, and of all the choice that is out there. So huge love to you all for helping to provide a safer space and a more accepting space for people who stutter globally around the world and stuff. So huge thank you for being able to speak on this platform. Yes, any questions? I don't know if I've got time for questions. I probably haven't, so it's all good. But if you get a chance to watch our film and the time it takes, it's shorter than the time that I've spoken now. So, easy to do.